So with the release of the Avatar Way of Water trailer hitting before Doctor Strange in the movie theaters and now officially online for everyone else to watch, I was inspired to go back and watch the 2009 original Avatar. So let's talk about it. So Avatar came out in 2009. It stars Sam Worthington as Jake Sully, a paraplegic marine who has been dispatched onto the moon of Pandora to help an organization obtain a precious element that's being heavily guarded by the native people of Pandora known as the Na'vi. In order to infiltrate the Na'vi, Jake Sully's consciousness is put into an avatar of a Na'vi body in order to get close to their tribe and get them to trust him so that the organization can come in and take their unobtainium. But when Jake Sully gets too close to one of the native Na'vis, played by Zoe Saldana, his allegiance to his race and the Na'vi begin to blend together until Jake Sully is forced to choose which side he lands on. So Avatar 2009 was huge when it first came out into theaters. To this day, this is the only movie that my dad and I couldn't get into to go watch in the theaters. We tried on 3 separate occasions to go and see this in theaters, and every time we went to see it, it was sold out. People just flocked in herds to go see Avatar on the big screen when it first came out, and for really good reason. This movie was hugely groundbreaking, especially when it came to the visual effects and the 3D technology of the day. It's also the movie that issued in a whole era of 3D movies that really did not need to be in 3D, and the only option the theaters would give you is a 3D movie, which was a higher admissions price. That was a really annoying time for me, and I did blame Avatar quite a bit during that era. But when you look at the box office and the cultural influence that this movie had on the entire world, you really can't blame every other movie in Hollywood going the 3D route. But none of them did it better than Avatar, so I'm told. I never got to see it. But even without the 3D element, Avatar is a breathtaking movie. Watching this back again on Blu-ray on my TV, this movie holds up leaps and bounds over any other movie, visually speaking, that came out in the year of 2009, and actually looks better than a lot of movies do today. And that's where you've got to give Avatar a lot of praise, because James Cameron put everything he had into creating the world of Pandora, make you buy this environment, this world, these people, and that's where Avatar's strength really shines for me. This movie has some of the best world building and world creation than any sci-fi movie that has ever existed. And when you're taking over the landscape of Pandora, you are just awestruck by just the beauty of it, the creatures that James Cameron created for this movie. The environment feels real, it's tangible. The scenes in this movie when we're flying through the air with our characters on their dragons is still to this day awe-inspiring, and just you wonder how they pulled it off. How does it look this good? Now, that's not to say that Avatar hasn't aged a little bit since 2009. I do think that the avatars themselves, the CGI on the avatars, maybe not the CGI, but more so the composition of the avatars, do make them look a little bit cartoony at times. But even with that said, the motion capture work done with these avatars is still super impressive. It's phenomenal. And James Cameron, you can just feel how much work he put into really creating Pandora and these avatars and the Na'vi culture, because he gives them their own language. You feel like these people are an actual tribe on this planet. And because James Cameron was able to capture them feeling so otherworldly, I buy into this world so much more. I love how much James Cameron invites us into their culture, their beliefs, their traits, their customs. The world of Pandora is one of the most immersive sci-fi worlds to ever exist on film. And this world and the creation of it is definitely where James Cameron's focus truly is, because when it comes to the characters and the story in this movie, sometimes it feels like the title takes on a double meaning, because these characters really do feel like they're just avatars for us to experience Pandora through in this movie. I don't mind the characters in this movie. I don't think they're terrible characters. I just don't feel like James Cameron invests in them as much as he does the world of Pandora. Because aside from Sam Worthington's Jake Sully and even Zoe Saldana Na'vi, everyone else feels just kind of one note to me. You've got Michelle Rodriguez in here. She's just a really tough army military girl. You got Stephen Lang in here, who's probably the most manliest man I've ever seen on film. And that's not even a complaint, because he is a very great and entertaining villain because of it. The first half hour of Avatar really does feel very similar to Aliens for me, where you've got all these military personalities coming together, being the manliest, the toughest that they can be, right down to the fact that you even have Sigourney Weaver in here. But the human characters definitely don't get that much establishment and characterization given to them. He wants to just keep building Pandora, getting you invested into that world. But a lot of stuff I feel for the characters do suffer because of that. When it comes to Jake Sully and his relationship with Zoe Saldana's Na'vi character, he's supposed to be aligning himself with the Na'vi more than the human race, because he's fallen so in love with their culture and this girl. But they kind of speed over that. James Cameron doesn't really let you feel that. There's a lot of voiceover from Jake Sully in this movie, because he's doing video vlogs back on the military base for scientific research reasons. But they play those video vlogs over the scenes with him and the Na'vi and Zoe Saldana's character to just kind of explain to you what's happening, what's going through his mind as all these scenes are playing out. For that reason, I don't really find the relationship between Jake Sully and Zoe Saldana's Na'vi, I don't remember her name, guys, I'm not even going to try. I don't find that relationship to be that invested. I don't really get attached to those characters. None of the characters in Avatar are why I watch Avatar. I watch Avatar for the landscape of Pandora, the immersive CGI, and the groundbreaking technological advanced technology that's being presented on the screen. And of course, I gotta mention the action of Avatar, because when you get to the third act battle of this movie and you've got the Na'vi fighting against the human militaries with their big giant ships, and you've got the dragons flying around with the bow and arrows shooting out, I have a blast with this final epic battle. Even though I'm not that invested in the human characters or even with the Na'vi that much, it is just a spectacle to watch on screen. It looks so good. It's so well directed, so well choreographed. It's exciting. It's thrilling. You've got explosions in there. What more could you want from an action movie from James Cameron? Real quick, before I get to my final recommendation for Avatar, if you like talking all things movies, TV, and all things entertainment, and you haven't already, why don't you go on and click that subscribe button, click that like button, click that notification bell, all that YouTube stuff. And while you're at it, why don't you comment down below what you think of Avatar? I want to hear all your thoughts and opinions about this movie. And without further ado, let's end this review. Guys, it's no mystery that when Avatar came out in 2009, it was a groundbreaking film. And to this day, you can still feel that influence. You can still feel how groundbreaking it was. James Cameron really pioneered us into a new technologically advanced age with Avatar. You can feel the influence of this movie on movies still to this day. And for that reason, even though I don't find the characters all that captivating and investing, and I find the story just to be a little bit too thin and not executed in a way that totally grabs me, the imagination from James Cameron is still fully displayed on the screen. It's awesome, it's epic, and for that reason, especially if you haven't seen Avatar yet, I still give Avatar a very solid recommend. I'm really looking forward to seeing what James Cameron does with this sequel come December and just how much the technology has advanced since 2009. I think we're in for another new technologically advanced era. I just hope he can fix some of the issues I had with the characters and characterization. But as always, guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video and checking out my channel. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, guys. I can't believe it. Thank you guys so much for all of your support, and I hope to talk to you guys again real soon.